From the streets of Queens to the screens of Hollywood and Bollywood, Nargis Fakhri has made quite the name for herself. And where better to speak to a movie star than the actual movies? Downtown Dubai, where money, power, and success come alive in the space of 2 square kilometers. Join me as I dive into the world of fame and fortune in the heart of the city where business never sleeps. I'm Lubna Hamdan. Welcome to Greenback. Thank you so much for joining us, Nargis.
Nargis.
Is it Nargis?
Nargis.
You said that all your Arab friends call you Nargis.
Nargis, yeah.
I'm half Arab, so
okay,
is
so
it
you're
okay
allowed then.
okay.
Yeah, you can call me. You can call me whatever you want. Just call me because you look stunning.
Thank you. You look amazing too.
In my casual wear, thanks.
You went for the casual,
Yes.
you know, what a normal person would wear to the movies,
Exactly.
right?
That was the brief.
And I look ridiculous.
Well, we are in Dubai, so actually you fit in better than I do.
I thought I'm interviewing this big shot, you know, movie star, and I thought I'd dress like a movie star. So I hope I've impressed you.
You have impressed me.
So do you like going to the movies? I mean, I brought you here, Real Cinemas, because, you know, you're a Bollywood actress, Hollywood actress. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different as opposed to a normal studio.
Yeah.
So do you go to the movies? Do you like going to the movies?
I do like going to the movies, especially when it's as fancy as this.
It's pretty nice,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
pretty nice.
Not
I like
bad.
relaxing and being able to order food.
Yeah.
But now it's been some time since we were able to go see the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been at home in bed watching movies.
Yeah, yeah. So most actors and actresses don't like seeing themselves in the movies, actually. They don't like rewatching the movie. How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. So I haven't watched all my movies, and I remember a couple years later I'm on a flight and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this movie. Maybe I should watch it now.
Yeah.
So I'm like that as well.
Okay. But how do you feel watching yourself, like on the big screen?
I think, like most people, we're very self-conscious and hypercritical, so we start seeing all the faults in ourselves, and then in the scene sometimes you're like, oh my God, there's no continuity here, or oh my gosh, my hair looks messed up, or oh, why does my face look like that?
Yeah.
So sometimes that distracts you from actually watching the movie.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah.
So you've been in so many Bollywood movies. You've been in some Hollywood movies as well. I remember that scene in Spy.
Oh, yeah.
It was an amazing scene.
Thanks.
What's it like being, you know, in Bollywood? What are the challenges? I mean, obviously you've built an amazing career for yourself, but is it as cutthroat as they say it is? What is it really like?
So I think for me it's really different because I'm not born in India, and I'm part Pakistani and part Czech, born in New York, and I didn't speak the language. So I entered, and I never acted, so I entered into a space that was totally alien in every way possible. Like, didn't know about film, didn't know about acting, didn't know the language, didn't know the culture, never went to India, never saw a movie from there. So I was totally a blank slate. So for me, the obstacles were way more than anybody else who is from there and works out there. I definitely think it was a tumultuous career, like a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
What was the lowest point, you would say?
I think for me, dealing with the media and fame, because when you're a normal person, you're not used to having all these eyeballs on you and people writing things about you, and they just write whatever they want. They don't really know the work, or they don't care to know what goes behind all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's just for headlines. They want people to read stuff and buy the papers or whatever. So I feel like I felt really like vulnerable and naked because people were just like constantly staring at me. You kind of feel like you're in a zoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes time to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's taken me many years to actually feel comfortable when people come up to me and want to take a picture. So now I've taken that awkward feeling and have told myself, no, you know, these people really enjoy the work that you do. Like, you make them happy, or they love to look at you, you inspire them. So I had to take positives and think about that. So now I'm very happy when people compliment me or want a picture and stuff.
Do you like being famous? Do you ever wish that you weren't?
So I always said, it's going to sound weird to say this because maybe you don't know my background, but I always say if I could make the same money doing something behind the scenes, I probably would have chose that instead of being in front of the camera. Because I'm a little shy and awkward, even though I don't seem like it, but I am.
No, you don't seem like it
I
at
know.
all.
Everybody says, like, what are you talking about? You're so, like, open and fun. I'm like, actually, I get anxiety, but you can't see the anxiety.
Yeah, you never can, right? It's like the
Yeah,
silent,
it's just inside.
yeah.
You're just, like, sweating,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
quietly.
What's the dream for you? Is Hollywood the dream? You know, more Hollywood movies?
So people always ask that. I think I'm already living the dream, because just living life has been such a wonderful adventure. I think at this point in my life, I'm still looking at doing movies, but also doing other things. Because
Behind the scenes things,
behind the
maybe?
scenes, trying to balance work life, because my eight years in India was very difficult because I was away from friends and family. Although I made some new friends, but it's not the same when you don't have your support of your family.
Sure. Yeah.
And then also wanting to have my own family.
Yeah.
And I think when you work so much, you don't have time to put that effort into a relationship or to your family.
Sure.
So I think now is my time, or a transition of making sure that I find a balance.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what about directing? Have you ever considered that? Or?
I don't know about directing, but I did a photo shoot for a friend, and I was the photographer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was published online in hard copy for this designer that she knew, and she was the model, and I shot her. So I
Wow.
really enjoyed that.
Okay.
So I do have a creative side. I used to be a painter and
Amazing.
sculptor, and I used to make my own clothes growing up.
Wow.
So I think that could be something I can explore.
So you've invested in Citizen, which acquired a brand called Smart Girls Get More. Right?
Yes.
I love that name, by the way.
You do? I'm so happy because I love it
It's
too.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I actually, part of the other things that I've been doing is being like an angel investor. I was learning about that. So I've invested in a few different startups, but my favorite is Citizen Cosmetics and Smart Girls Get More. Now, I really loved Smart Girls because, it sounds silly, but I don't really wear makeup when I'm not working. I don't even brush my hair sometimes. And I have people that could attest to that. I'm very low maintenance, and I like to keep it natural and real.
So am I, as you can see.
You know, like we want to please the people when we, dress up and stuff. But in my regular life, I'm super chill, laid back, always wearing jeans and sneakers.
Yeah.
So when Smart Girls came to me with their pitch, there's so many makeup brands out there, and I know, because I've used them, and like I get them, and I don't, I have a makeup artist, so she's using them on me. So when Smart Girls came to me, I was like, oh, what a great line. I like what you stand for. I like the fact that you're a makeup brand that's great quality and affordable, because I'm also very, what would you call me, thrifty? Is that
smart?
right?
Smart with money.
I'm smart with money, right? Because I
Yeah.
didn't come from money.
Yeah.
So I worked really hard to earn, so I know the value of money.
Yeah.
And as much as I love girly things, I'm always going to think first, like quality over quantity.
Sure.
So Smart Girls, I think, great quality for a good price. So every girl out there, they can have all the things that they want in a makeup, in their makeup collection through Smart Girls. And not only that, it's a female-founded company.
Yeah.
And I'm totally about female entrepreneurs. We need to have more. And I see that there is now an explosion of female-founded companies. Growing up, I didn't have a mentor. The profession I'm in now is like, I feel male-dominated, so it's hard to, move through that.
Yeah.
And, I just love to see smart women grow and become successful.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a woman's woman.
I think especially now in the world of fashionistas, it's, and influencers, there's such an abundance of that I feel it's nice to have a brand, that focuses on that word, smart girls.
Yes, thank you. I
so
really
yeah.
like that too. And, being smart comes in so many different forms, like book smart, street smart.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm so book smart, but I'm definitely street smart and life smart.
Yeah.
And I think that should be brought to people's attention. Sure. You're right, like when you talk about social media now, I had this conversation early today. I'm like, there's a lot of things that are being put out there that I think personally is inappropriate and not good for young females, mental health.
Sure.
It's giving them the wrong impression.
Yeah.
So when I see women, like these three wonderful women who started Smart Girls, I'm like in awe of them. You know, they're younger than me. They are beautiful. They are smart. They are talented. I mean, I have great conversations with them, and they're way younger than me. So I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. What about you, though? Have you never thought about starting your own business?
So I think when you're in the film industry, you're always on call, and
Right.
you always have to be ready, and there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah.
So instead of starting my own, that's why I've invested in a few companies, and I am looking forward to working with Smart Girls on something.
Okay.
So, and I'm a very partner person.
Yeah.
So if I don't have the right partner, you
Yeah.
know, I'm not going to do something.
Sure.
But people could stay tuned for something interesting with Smart Girls and me. So
Nice,
we'll see.
interesting. A little exclusive there.
Yeah.
What about, so let's go back to the movies a little bit, right? So certain actors, like let's say Leonardo DiCaprio, he has a routine, you know, gets into character, never leaves character on set. Do you have a certain routine to help you get into character?
So I think if I think about my very first film, because I didn't know the language or acting or anything,
Right.
it took like 2 years to do this film, for it
Wow.
from the beginning to when
Yeah.
it came out.
Yeah.
And I think that, yes, I'm the kind of person that's more, I guess they would call it a method actor, where I really get into my character. And because I didn't have friends or family, I basically stayed in that character.
Okay.
And so I think I carry that forward with the other films,
Yeah.
except for the comedy stuff. The comedy stuff is just me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a comedian deep down inside.
I love that. I love that. What's your favorite role that you've played?
Oh my goodness. Well, obviously my first film, Rockstar, was really wonderful, and then I loved every role, so I can't really say that I have a favorite, because I've been so lucky that each film has been really different.
Yeah.
Like my first was a tragic love story. The second was like this intense reporter.
Right.
And then another one was a comedy. Actually, a couple of them were comedies. And then like Spy was that fight scene. So
Yeah.
I got to like be different people,
Yeah.
which I think is a lot of fun.
Pretty cool,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is pretty cool. I like that.
Any dream director, or let's start with dream role. Is there a dream role?
So dream role, I just love comedy. And because I'm American, it would be great
Yeah.
to be in a comedy, like a Hollywood comedy.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I get the humor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'll take any comedy.
Okay.
I just like to make people laugh, because I make
Okay.
myself laugh.
Yeah. I love that. What about dream director to work with?
To be honest, people always ask those questions, and I really don't have a dream director,
Okay.
because film was not my thing.
Right,
I kind
right.
of, if you know my story, everything
I
happened
do,
by
trust
accident.
me.
Yeah, it like they would say it's kismet, which is destiny.
Yeah.
Because it came out of nowhere. And so I didn't have these dreams of being this actress. So I don't know so much about everybody. So then I can't really tell you like, oh, dream director.
Yeah. I read this book by this tennis player, Andre Agassi. It's
Oh,
my
that was, I
favorite
read it
book.
open?
You read it?
Yeah,
Isn't it
a long
amazing?
time ago. Yeah,
It's
it was really
amazing.
great.
But I always remember the fact that he said he loved and hated tennis.
You know what? You end up
Yeah.
loving and hating what you do.
Yeah.
I don't know what, maybe because, I don't know, maybe because the repetition and it gets boring, or then you become hard on yourself.
I think that's
You know,
what it
like,
is,
yeah, you start
right?
becoming hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It was interesting. Yeah. I remember that he said
Yeah.
that.
I mean, do you hate and love acting? Is that how you feel?
I do.
about it?
I didn't want to say it, but you do end up feeling that way for different reasons.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Sometimes I'll do a project. I'm like, oh my God, I love this job so much. I want to do it for the rest of my life. And then you work on a project. You're like, oh my God, I hate this. Kill me.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, same for
So
me.
it's just, it's like circumstantial, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the actual show business? The industry. It's pretty challenging. I mean, one thing is the gender pay gap. Do you think you get paid well? I mean, how has your experience
I
been?
mean, definitely not compared to the male actors, for sure. But also, I guess not only that, it also depends where you are status-wise.
Yeah.
You know, because there's other male actors that are maybe just beginning. They're not going to get the same as maybe what I have, because I've been doing it for a while.
Right.
I mean, it'd be great to have equal pay, but like, I don't want to say anything inappropriate or wrong, but it depends, like, I guess how many years someone's been doing it, how good they are, or how big the role is.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of factors that play into certain things too when it comes to your pay.
If there is one thing that you can change about the industry, what would it be?
I don't even know if I should say this on camera.
I think you should go for it.
I think that, first of all, I'd like to say that I have made my way with my morals and values intact.
Yes.
Never compromising what I believe in. And that has been difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that take advantage of people.
Sure.
And you lose jobs because people are looking for something else that has nothing to do with work.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's very upsetting. So that needs to change.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get work based on because you want us for this role, not because you want something from us that has nothing to do with
Sure.
what the job is.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
But-
I think I said that pretty well,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah,
think
you
people get the
did. That
idea,
was
right? Thank you
very
much. Thanks.
diplomatic,
Yeah.
but also got the message across.
Very good.
Very good. I think what's amazing though is that you've still made it despite,
You know what?
not going down that route.
I might, like, some may say, oh, I didn't make it high enough, but I made it. I made it to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I made my choices. I lived my life my way with no regrets. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy. And you're right, I did make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Social media. Can we go back to that a little
Sure.
bit?
Yeah.
You have 6.9 million followers.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? Do you feel like you have this responsibility, especially as you said, there's a lot of content that's inappropriate, and also, so many little girls now go on social media, they're obsessed with it, they grow up, they just want to be influencers, they have no other goals, no ambitions. How do you feel about that?
So, I grew up without social media.
Right.
So I get to see the two different worlds. And when you're young and you're growing up in this, I don't know what their brains are like and what they're thinking. I could only give my opinion or my thoughts based on the fact that I grew up without it. And I know what life is without being online. And I know how hard, how to work hard to
Yeah.
get to where I need to get to. I do think that people think it is easy just to be an influencer, which is actually not. It is still a job,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It is, you got like people walking around with their ring lights and cameras. They got to get
That's
the right
true,
shot.
that's
They got to
true.
get the clothes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like that because I feel like it makes people feel like they have to keep up with people.
Yeah.
And I think that could really hurt your self-esteem, which is your mental health, and cause a lot of
Definitely.
issues. And people are in a competition that's not even a real competition. They're valuing things that shouldn't be valued,
Sure.
that actually don't mean anything. And I don't know, there's so much I could say about it. I think social media can be used for good and for not good. And I think everything in moderation.
Yeah,
That's probably
sure.
the right thing to say.
Agreed,
Yeah.
agreed. What about advice for, young girls who want to be actresses? I mean, I know you didn't necessarily want to be an actress
Yeah.
growing up, which is ironic, right? Because
Right.
so many girls, practically, kill
Die for
themselves,
it. I
die
know.
to be actresses, and
I
just
think-
happened by chance.
So I've always heard this, what you chase runs away from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just have to live your life, and do what you love, but not be so hungry that you would die or do anything, which means compromising your morals and values to
Sure.
get there. I mean, whatever, it's your choice. I can't judge. If you want
Sure.
to do that, then fine. But you're not going to feel good. That's going to affect your mental state and your well-being.
Yeah.
I just think that you should do what you love and then, post that. It shouldn't be about how many likes or how many followers or whatever else people are wanting, the validation. You need to find your validation with yourself,
Sure.
which I know is really hard. So,
It is.
but we
yeah.
need to try a little bit better.
It's a
harder.
struggle.
Yeah.
So many celebrities kind of reach their peak
Mm.
and then go bankrupt.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I mean, you came from very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Any advice about money? I mean, I don't see you ever becoming that kind of person,
Well, so, oh man, I think people live way beyond their means because they want to keep up. They want to feel like they're better than someone. They want to have the new bag, the new shoes, or be in the fancy whatever and go on fancy trips, which I think is great to try it or do it once in a while, but some people overdo it, or they don't have the money to do it, so they shouldn't do it. Finance is something people really need to think about, especially like the influencers and stuff, you know, because I heard they made a lot of money and then, well, now things are changing because 2020 was just a disaster.
Yeah.
So I always say don't live beyond your means, live a little below it.
Sure.
I know a lot of people that spend a lot of money and then 2020 came along and they lost their job and they didn't have that cushion, you know, to survive, and they're struggling now, which really is sad. So I think that's a big lesson. Don't live beyond your means. Don't try to keep up with people. Yeah.
You're pretty smart with money, I think.
Yeah, that's why I love Smart Girls makeup, because those are some of the things that I feel like when I think about the brand, like I'm the smart girl, you know? I'm wearing Smart Girls, by the way. I hope I look good.
Oh, I love it, by the way. I was looking at it. It looks very smooth.
Oh, great. You know, I've got the whole thing
really
going
nice.
on. Yeah, I said, let me wear the brand that I love today.
Amazing. So speaking of money, what is the biggest deal that you've gotten on social media, let's say, before we go into acting?
Like, so, I was a model before acting, so I was getting great jobs anyway, because I worked in a time before social media, so models were actually models and actually getting great pay.
Right.
And I was doing a lot of TV commercials and campaigns and stuff. So I'm pretty consistent with, like, we have a rate. So you're just pretty consistent. Okay. Sometimes if I like a brand and they can't afford to pay a certain amount, you know, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do it for whatever. Or just send me a product because I love your brand and I believe in you.
That's different. So, you're very easygoing. It's very refreshing.
I'm very easygoing. And, like, I like that, especially female-founded companies, I like to give people an opportunity. And I've realized that I work so hard to get to where I am. And there have been wonderful people that help me along the way with advice, direction, mentorship maybe. And I want to be that for other women. So if I see a company, a product that I really like and they're new, I'll post for free because I believe in them. Yeah. But that's pretty rare because...
It is rare. Yeah. And it's important that you mention, you know, mentors. I mean, I'm a male mentor, but I've never really had a female mentor, you know, and I think it's sad that there aren't enough
female mentors,
especially in this.
Well, hopefully now.
Hopefully now.
There will be more.
Yes. One last question: can you cry on cue? I've always wondered about this.
So I used to be able to. I don't know. I
don't want you to cry.
Yeah, I could probably cry on cue.
Could you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I had to for work. You know, and you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I just think about stuff.
Okay.
I could probably cry now,
Are you going to do it for us?
No. I ruined my makeup.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
it's been amazing.
Thank you. You're a lovely
really
hostess.
Enjoyed it. Thank you. And I hope you actually go to Real Cinemas and enjoy this amazing
I'm going to check it out. I'm liking this vibe.
Yeah. I love a good conversation. I love a good movie. But what I love even more is a movie star with a cause. Kudos to you, Nargis, for supporting female entrepreneurs and investing in their businesses. And now on a lighter note, since we are at the movies and technically I'm kind of done with work, I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy myself at the Platinum Suites Lounge. How beautiful is this place? Also, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.